Hello, fans, and welcome to the fourth episode of the NBA, The Week That Was. The past week was filled with great games and some trade drama involving a top 5 player in the league. Let's not waste a moment and start the fourth episode of the NBA, The Week That Was. On Sunday, the miserable Bulls took on the Spurs in San Antonio. The Bulls, who were down by 19 at the half, soared back and won the game 98-93. Chris Dunn had 24 points and 7 rebounds to lead the Bulls to a victory. LaMarcus Aldridge's double-double with 29 points and 12 boards was not enough for the Spurs on Sunday night. This win was a rare occasion for the Bulls. They are 9-25 and sit in 13th place of the weak Eastern Conference. Front office drama and injuries have harmed the Bulls this season. Head coach Fred Hoiberg was fired. Jabari Parker was kicked out of the rotation. The building blocks of the Bulls in Zach LaVine, Chris Dunn, and Lauri Markkanen have barely played with each other. It feels like nothing is going right for them at the moment. Let's see if their bad record is a blessing in disguise and the Bulls land a great player in the draft. On Monday, the leaders of each conference, the Nuggets in the West and the Raptors in the East, dueled it out, only for the Nuggets to win 95-86. Offensive beast Nikola Jokic led the way for the Nuggets, scoring 26 points while having 10 rebounds. Kawhi Leonard did have 29 points and 14 rebounds. However, the MVP candidate's teammates did not provide the offense needed to win the game. Having Kyle Lowry out with a left thigh contusion didn't help their case either. Right now, the Raptors are making a great case as to why Kawhi Leonard should stay with the team. They hold the best record in the league and have beaten the Warriors twice. Kevin Durant himself has said they're not an up-and-coming team. They're here. It's going to take a lot of GM Masai Ujiri's magic to get Leonard to stay, but if he does, watch out. Tuesday brought us a second-round playoff rematch in the Rockets against the Jazz. The Beard and his team took the win 102-97. The reigning MVP had 47 points. The way he can create offense for himself is just spectacular and annoying at the same time. He literally got away with a double step back in which he traveled 5 steps and the refs didn't see a thing. He got fouls called almost every single drive to the rim, and if he isn't driving in, he's just dribbling for 20 seconds and stepping back to swish a 3. He shot 16 foul shots in the game and converted on 15 of them. He has led the Rockets out of the lottery picks and into the 8th seed of the Western Conference. He's making another case for MVP this season, but there's no way a player on the 8th seed can take home the trophy. On Wednesday, D'Angelo Russell took revenge on the Lakers by leading his Nets to a win 115-110. Russell, who was traded in the 2017 offseason, hit a dagger 3 in LeBron's face with 22 seconds left to ice the game. He then went on to do the iconic ice in my veins celebration. He had 22 points and 13 assists as well. The Nets have been on a roll lately. They sit at the 9th seed of the East and are 8-2 in their last 10 games. The point guard duo of Spencer Dinwiddie and D'Angelo Russell has been key in almost all their victories. Russell was indeed the talk of the night, but this week the Lakers have been involved in some major trade drama with a player who can help them be the top contender in the West. News about him will come later on in the episode. On Thursday, rookie DeAndre Ayton's 23 points and 18 rebounds carried the Suns to a victory over the Celtics. The final score was 111-103. Kyrie Irving did have 29 points and 10 assists, but the Suns had a better energy and mentality throughout the game, and it never seemed like they were going to lose. I believe the Suns will have yet another top 3 pick in next year's draft, and I really think that player they select can help stop the playoff drought in Phoenix. Having said that, the Suns are in great need of a point guard, and this draft doesn't have the best options. One player I can think of is point guard Quentin Grimes of Kansas, but I don't think he should be a top 3 pick. I think that Phoenix should trade down on draft night, acquire another pick and Quentin Grimes in exchange for a player they select with the top 3 pick. Similar to a trade the Hawks conducted this year for Luka Doncic for Trae Young and a top 5 protected pick from the Mavericks. On Friday, DeAndre Jordan returned home to Staples Center for the first time since leaving the Clippers in his career. The Clippers pulled away with a win 125-121. Danilo Gallinari had 32 points to lead the Clippers. Luka Doncic had 32 as well on the other side. The Western Conference has been so fun to observe. The Mavericks are in 12th place in the West. However, they are only 2 games out of 8th. The months of March and April will be filled with must-win games for all 14 teams in the West. Yeah, Phoenix really doesn't need to win, so I'm not counting them. If I were to give you the top 8 teams that will make the playoffs in the West, I believe it would be the Warriors in 1st, the Thunder in 2nd, the Nuggets in 3rd, the Lakers in 4th, the Blazers in 5th, the Rockets in 6th, the Clippers in 7th, and the Spurs in 8th. Our last game of this episode was between two lottery-bound teams in the Knicks and the Hawks. The Hawks had a balanced win with 7 players in double-digit scoring. The final score was 114 to 107. John Collins had 17 points and 16 rebounds, while Emmanuel Mudiay of the Knicks had a solid 32 points. I was watching that game, and I swear half his points came from simply posting Trae Young up. It was just pure bully ball, and it was not fun to watch as a Hawks and a Trae Young fan. Now that we are talking about two teams projected to have a top 5 pick, let me give you a prediction for the top 5 teams in the draft. Chicago Bulls will get the first pick, the Phoenix Suns will get the second, the Hawks will get the third, the Cavs will get the fourth, and the Knicks will get the fifth. Again, this is my prediction. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's talk about the player who has been in serious trade rumors with the Lakers. Anthony Davis has been rumored to joining the LeBron and company very, very soon. The trade rumors have been heating up throughout the season due to the fact that Davis is on the Pelicans, who sit in 13th place, and he wants to win now. He doesn't want to waste his talents anymore. He himself has quoted, "I would take legacy over money." And guess when he said that? The day after having dinner with LeBron in LA after the Pelicans loss. LeBron has said that he would love to play with Anthony Davis. Many GMs believe that LeBron is tampering and recruiting, which is prohibited in the NBA, and that he should be fined. However, Adam Silver, commissioner of the NBA, has done no such thing. I honestly believe that Davis will not be traded and be signed in free agency by the Lakers because the Pelicans won't be receiving the assets they want in return for Davis. Sure, they could get players such as Kyle Kuzma and Brandon Ingram, but that simply isn't enough for a player of Davis's caliber. Let's see how this situation is handled, and hopefully I'll be back soon telling you folks about a trade involving Anthony Davis and the Los Angeles Lakers. And that wraps up this week's edition of the NBA, the week that was. I hope you're enjoying the series so far and you're learning more and more about the association each episode. Sorry for the delay in this week's episode. Travel led to some complications in finishing this one on time. Please leave a like on this video, subscribe if you haven't, and I hope to see you next week on the NBA, the week that was. See ya!